Does technology support humanity, or does humanity support technology? It's an important question, particularly if you run a sales organization. Hi, I'm Earle McLeod. I'm the author of Selling with Noble Purpose, and I'm going to be keynoting at the Sales 2.0 conference in Philadelphia. I'd like to give you a little preview. You know, in sales, everyone wants a competitive advantage. We want to differentiate ourselves from the competition. But some critical things have changed in the sales landscape that are important for you to consider. First of all, as much as 70 to 80% of the buyer's decision-making process now happens without a salesperson even present. That's because the buyer, prior to even meeting with one of your salespeople, is going online, they're looking at your website, and they're doing more. They're looking at reviews by other customers, they're talking to colleagues, they're talking to peers. So when it comes to competitive differentiation, you don't have the whole sales process anymore. You've got one little slice of it. And so how, in that 20, 25, 30% of time that you've got where the buyer's actively engaged in a decision-making process, how do you create a competitive advantage in that space? Well, there's three things that companies usually focus on. Technology, that is the back-end support for their sales team. Process, what kind of sales process are their salespeople employing? And then there's the human element. So I want to share with you some critical mistakes and some ways that you can overcome these. So first of all, big mistake people make in technology is they over-technify their sales team. That is, they implement elaborate CRM systems, and you've got to have one, but what happens so many times is it becomes all about the data and all about the numbers. And instead of the sales call being in the service of the customer, the sales calls wind up being in the service of what can I record on the CRM. You'll know this is happening inside a company. You know, I go to a lot of sales meetings with leaders, and you know this is happening when every meeting starts with charts and graphs and process analysis, and nobody talks about the actual customers. They might talk about how many times they've called on them or how much the customers are buying, but there's no narrative about what do the customers actually care about. Which leads me to the second mistake that people often make, and that's with regards to process. One of the things that people will often do is try to regulate a process, thinking if we can just get the salespeople to do it exactly this way every single time, then we'll be successful. Well, you probably won't be successful. You'll probably just be mediocre. You know, one of the symptoms of this, and you see this a lot in the pharmaceutical and healthcare world, is people will do tons of research to identify which messages resonate most with the customers. Then they send the sales team out and they say this, say that, and say it exactly the way marketing wrote it. And what happens is you wind up with these robotic sales calls where the salespeople are just repeating messages, and they don't create trust with their customers, and they don't create a relationship, because the salesperson becomes a walking brochure, and they're not doing anything different than what the customer could see or read on the internet. So technology is great, process is important, but they will only get you to mediocre. It's that third element, the human element, and the way your salespeople interact when they're in front of customers or they're on the phone. That's where you gain true competitive differentiation. But here's the challenge. If you ask most people, what's the purpose of a sales call? They'll tell you to close business, that the purpose is to close business. But actually, did you know that the salespeople who have what I call a noble purpose mindset, the salespeople who go into a call not thinking, I'm going to close this, but thinking, how can I improve life for this customer? Those salespeople are actually the ones who wind up closing the most deals. And the organizations that are the most successful are the organizations where the technology and the process supports that larger, more human purpose of helping improve the customer's condition. So if you'd like to know how to do that, join me at the Sales 2.0 conference in Philadelphia. I'm Earle McLeod, and I'm going to be talking about how you drive revenue and do work that makes you proud.